How can I get writer's block when I've got a view like that out my window? Hey guys, it's Monday here, and today we're going to be talking about combating writer's block. Now, I spoke about this quite briefly in my previous video, so in this video I'm going to go into a bit more depth. In my last video I touched upon the three main forms of writer's block: when you can't write, when you have an idea but you don't know how to incorporate it into your story, or when you're not in the mood to write. And I said briefly on how you can combat them. I also said my main form of writer's block is the motivation one. But how can I still get writer's block when I have such a beautiful view outside my window? Surely that will give me inspiration, won't it? Yes and no. I can incorporate the surroundings that I can view from my window into a story and have an idea formed from that. But you've got to have the motivation to actually sit down and do the writing and think about what you're writing. And if you don't have that, then your story's not going to go anywhere. Where I tend to give myself motivation to actually sit down and do some writing is by reading other people's writing or sitting down and listening to an audiobook to a story. Doing this seems to give me inspiration and makes me want to write a story of my own. But this may not work for everyone. This method gives me inspiration and gives me the motivation to sit down and actually write. But for someone else, for Tracy, for Ali, this might not work. So you need to find your own method of giving yourself motivation. It might be that going away and doing nothing relating to writing gives you the motivation to do writing. When you have no ideas about what to write in your story, and you don't know what to put in and it feels like your plot's going nowhere, what I tend to do to combat this form of writer's block is go to a busy environment, sit down and people watch. I find it astonishing how quickly ideas seem to come to me when I do this. For example, you could be sat on a bench watching the world go by and you see a lady with a big bag which is obviously heavy, and a group of kids around her, and she drops the bag. That could give you an idea for a story or a plot. What's in the bag? Why is it so heavy? Who are all the kids? Again, this might not work for everyone, but give it a shot. You might find that it helps. When you have an idea for a story or a plot, but you don't know where to fit it in your story, one way of combating this is taking a step back and reading through what you've written. You might find that it fits in earlier in the story, or you could put it in later on in the story. But as Tracy says, never say no to a plot line. Just because you can't fit it in one place doesn't mean you can't put it in somewhere else. So there's a few hints and tips on how to combat writer's block. Check back on Wednesday for Ali's video, then on Friday for Tracy's video. And don't forget, practice makes pros.